Are you confused about this individual that you began to have chemistry with and relate with more often? Are you confused if God will give you a passionate marriage with that individual? You do not want to waste your time, but you want to know if God has chosen this individual for you to be your lifetime partner. These are 5 signs that God will give you a passionate marriage with that individual. Number 1. There is an attraction for each other. When people think about the will of God for them in their marriage, there is usually a general misconception that God might end up giving them someone they do not desire, or a person that is very different from their ideal Mr. and Mrs. This cannot be far from the truth. However, why do you enjoy peace, love, and experience passion? The type that cannot be had outside of marriage with someone is that you are attractive to your partner. Attraction is not carnal unless the basis of your attraction is faulty. There has to be something that draws you and makes you want to be with them above all other people. It makes a difference for many people that even the presence and absence can say a lot about their marriage. Many get married to people that they are not attracted to out of desperation because they felt that the person is the will of God for them. Eventually, kind of person suffers in marriage because no form or element makes them want to be with that person, except it is eventually worked on. It will be a passionless marriage. One that is being held together out of a sense of duty rather than genuine love for each other. Believe me, no one wants to experience that yet. It is quite rampant these days. All in the name of marrying God's will. Signs are a prediction of things to come and should not be ignored. Whatever is obtainable in your relationship or courtship currently will only be amplified in your marriage. If there is no attraction between yourself and your partner at the moment, it might be difficult to develop a passion for each other or the marriage later on. So there has to be some kind of attraction, and this is something that can be served as a basis for your passion. The fact that you are attracted to that fellow is a really good thing, and you can look forward to a great union. Number 2. Instinctive love or chemistry. What is passion without love? The passion you have for an individual is closely tied to the level of love you have for them. Gone are the day people are forced into marriage with someone that they do not know or love. At this age, you have to decide whether you love someone to be in a relationship or take the bold step of getting married. Another sign that you will have a passionate marriage with that individual is that you will have a great love for that person, and vice versa, while the words, "I love you" might have been abused such that it is difficult to tell if a person means what they are saying. God would never want you to be stuck in a relationship without true love. Is your love for each other unconditional, selfless, and goes beyond physical attraction and intimacy? If yes, then it is a clear sign that God will give you a passionate marriage with that individual. True love is more than emotions or how you feel about the person. Emotions are not true love. True love is not a response to what the person has done to you that prompts you to say, "We have true love." Certain things show that you are really in love with the person that you claim to be in love with. It also involves forgiving and having the best interest at heart. If you truly love that individual and the feeling is mutual, then you can say that God will give you a passionate marriage. Sometimes, this feeling can be on an instinctive level. For instance, Rebecca was willing to marry without having met him and knowing Isaac well enough before, and Isaac loved her the moment he saw her. They went on to have a beautiful life together. In essence, whoever you are going to marry should be someone you love and are willing to make sacrifices for. That way, you have a marriage full of person and love. Number 3. Commitment. Whether or not we like to hear it, the truth is that a time will come in a relationship or marriage when things will drop and things will not be as they used to be. One thing that can preserve one's relationship or signify that a marriage will be passionate is that both you and your partner are committed to each other. You can only be committed to doing something that you are passionate about. It works for hand in hand, and your passion is also something that compels you to be committed as well. These are signs that you should watch out for. It is very popular in the world today to find people who are just in a relationship for the sake of public appearance, or just so they're not left out among their peers. They have no ambitions or plans for the relationship and just go with the flow. That nonchalant attitude towards relationships is not a good sign at all. If taken to marriage, it can be disastrous. There is every likelihood that a divorce lies in the future of such couples. With God, commitment is such a big deal, and that is why it is important to be sure before stepping into that phase. Once you are in, it should be a forever thing, because God hates divorce, and the fact that you are married and have put on a ring does not signify that you and your partner will suddenly become committed to each other. It is something that should have been developed or started right from the days of dating or courtship. So take a good look at your relationship now. Are these signs of commitment there or not? Because it is an indication that God will give a passionate marriage with that individual. Number 4. Deep connection. The best relationships are shared by people who are strongly connected. They know each at a soul level and can sense things about the other person without being told. This strengthens their bond and makes them even more passionate about each other. While it is possible to become instinctively connected to someone, especially the one who is your soulmate, connections are mostly built or created over time. It does not just happen, it requires commitment, love, loyalty, vested interest, and so many things before such a connection can be built. Only couples that can be together for so long can share so many things and can have such a kind of connection. But it can also be noted even at the early stages of the relationship. The person that you want to marry and spend your whole life with should be someone that you can relate to on the same frequency. That means that you will be able to speak the same language, and your thoughts will be in the same direction as the person. It means you are interested in the same or similar things that can force you to achieve certain accomplishments. In the scriptures, we have examples of those who had great marriages, and also those who are mismatched. Jacob was a shepherd, and so was Rachel. Although he might have been attracted to her beauty and other characteristics, their shared profession was another point through which they could connect, and you can tell that they had a passionate marriage based on the love Jacob had for Rachel, even though Leah bore for him more sons. On the other hand, we see Abigail and Nabal, who will not be fit for each other because they do not relate on the same level. When Abigail was a wise woman, Nabal was described as a fool, and that he would have affected the marriage one way or the other. To know if your relationship with that person will be passionate is that God will give a part of the connection, a very strong one that could be your calling or assignment or a shared interest that will then translate to your heart, being committed, and that will be the basis for the passion you experience in your marriage. Number 5. Strong desire. The place of desire in any relationship cannot be neglected. The Bible says the desire of a woman will be for her husband. For you to have a great marriage, there should be a desire to know them better, to relate with them on a deeper level, and to share the love. If the desire is not there, it is a loveless marriage, just lukewarm with no sparks that make marriage interesting. If any of these signs are tied together, and the absence of one can mean the absence of the other, for instance, where there is no initial attraction, there will be no basis for love, and if there is no love, the desire will be absent, which would eventually affect the passion for each other in the marriage. Does that person want to be with you, or do they find your company appalling? Do they have other interests, or would they rather be somewhere else than with you? When you have a strong desire for that person, and that person feels the same towards you, it will generate a strong passion that will keep your marriage going for a long time.